wala pol kan sai na so ko na mano banta jabo banta tulo ban sai ka wala pol kan da ka ba official ko na ba dama bulo mutarin baka ta fintila no ni kon batunga ne ta ya puri yamma ko dubanti na ta mano sani tulo ne jaw
munda bete ni la buro da man Baluwo service kalam
mon service
Baluwo service
ni da furon te mo kala
munda afela buro da ko abitala internet ol aya ba site la woldo baluwo.com nay wo sajje a apo ñu ba download la telephone ol na be sandiro to ni wal na be sidin ala office ko ndama manjar pour ay ta bank ko kodoki abe sidin office ko da minto ite message so ya telephone ko no e bitiko be Gambia dawda bitiko ba belo ko ta tano dawda yeta fenko tawo wodama
yala Baluwo service na ta mo da hannu ata nyo le kan ke jalla bro dan ka ko ata nyo le ayo ko ta
Baluwo service dinkirala jampo wo manken na kolaya ko Baluwo service al demano kaje ko ale domor feŋol sang alla dimbaya molu ana lakkanun tewol wato bela ani wat sudum fanan kono Baluwo service la dinkiralu ani la do kunyolu e be banko karo beto kabirin katon fo koyna nalla fa ko ku ko tan so Baluwo service la kolto ali commandi telephone line la milbuko 9400213 7694319 wala 3192870 wala hankabi alta internet oto alila kolu jibe www.baluwo.com.
Thanks, Fatou, for coming. It is our great pleasure having you here with us. We are really happy collaborating with you for many years now, almost since the very beginning. I remember I met you in 2019, so 5 years now. And when we started, I think we started the first time with some projects in 2019, so 5 years now. Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to introduce you to the company for a little bit, briefly. We founded this company in 2016. It was incorporated. The first transactions we made was in 2017. And it was meant to be a solution for Gambians abroad. Despite we are based in Spain and we have a big community, a Gambian diaspora here in Spain, we thought that we wanted to be for all Gambians around. However, we easily or very quickly realized that we were able to do the same for other African diasporas. That's why we moved immediately to Senegal and Nigeria. So founded as a social impact company, we try to help migrants when they are living outside of their home country. We started, helping them having, in the way they help their families back home by topping up their mobile phones, buying cash power, and buying food, which is very relevant in some periods of time, like Ramadan. And then we are helping also with construction materials acquisitions. And finally, we have also launched the service of money transfer. So we intend to help the Africans when they are outside of the mother country, and when they help their families back home. And we started with the vision of having one app for all these, first Gambian, then all the Africans. And that was my technical vision of the world, but the reality is we realized very quickly that not all Africans were able at that time to use an app for these basic needs. So that's why we we set up a new channel to distribute these services, which is the locutorios, the point of sales, call shops. And we set up a network of stores all over Spain. Today we have over 700 point of sales where African migrants can buy these products for their families. Very quickly as well, we realized that what we are doing here in Spain is also useful for the countries where we don't have the distribution channel. That's why we connected to all the distribution channels in the States, in France, in Italy, in UK, in order to distribute these services that we source we acquire in these local countries in Africa. So that's why we set up a new channel, so which is the distribution channel. So today, Baluwo has 3 channels, 3 ways to reach, to access the diaspora. One is the original idea, which is the app. The second is the retail chain, the retail network we have in Spain with over 700 stores. And then we have wholesalers, distributors that are distributing our products in other geographies, in France, in Italy, in UK, in the States, Germany. So we have 3 channels, just to Fatou, to make you understand who we are and what's our role here in the company. Yeah. So we have 3 channels through we reach our customers. Directly through the app, through these stores where they used to go for, to send money and to buy mobile top-up, cash power and so on, and the same in other geographies through a third party. So these are the 3 channels we have. Today we are processing around 8,000 transactions per day. We are operating directly in 17 countries in West Africa, all the way from Morocco to Cameroon. But when we started, we had 0 customers, 0 transactions, just 1 country, which is was Gambia. Just to finalize my introductions, just a nice reminder: Baluwo is a Mandinga word meaning basic essentials, meaning the basic things to survive, feeding people. That was the meaning I understood at the very beginning. Said that's the name of the company. Yeah. In the future, going forward, we try to expand. We need to grow. We need to expand this action because we think that many other communities have the same problems. So that's why we want to extend to other communities in the near future. But everything started with the Baluwo concept in Gambia. Hopefully we have the chance to progress and succeed, not only in Africa, but in other corridors as well. But everything started in Gambia with the Baluwo concept. So once said that, I would like you to introduce you the different teams. We are a company, we have team, but as you could realize yesterday, we are a family.
Yes.
Not only the family with our buyers that we really love, but inside we have our members. Our team members are really part of our family. And actually we represent part of Africa. We have people from Ivory Coast, from Senegal, from Gambia, from Nigeria, as you could see, you saw yesterday. And even for other parts of the world, from America, we have people from America, from Europe. So, okay, so let's just start. For me, it's important that everything is started with the operations. So let's start with the team of operations. There is one team member missing, a French guy living in Madrid. Today is his holiday, is his day off. Team.
Yeah, so, well, I'm the COO and been working with, being part of Baluwo since, I think, early 2018. So, I mean, and we've been trying to, part of this expansion process from 3 countries to 17, and obviously adding all the different products and trying to handle all the different teams that we've got, team members that we've got in each of the different countries to ensure that we can offer all of our customers the widest array of products. So, myself together with Joaquim and Richard try to ensure that we are working to ensure that we have as many products available, as many services, and as close an interaction and trying to look for partnerships not only direct partnerships with operators locally, and continue to grow and expand our product range. So that's on the operations side. And recently we're also took over the responsibility of the B2B channel, so the relationship with the different partners that are the wholesalers. So specifically that relation is managed by Richard, who is based in Madrid and on holiday today, but so effectively we have sort of two responsibilities or hats. On the one hand, operationally, to ensure that most of the everything that has to do with the operation of a business from the African side, we have the possibility to offer our products across the different channels, and then also trying to deal with and trying to sell the products that we launch and the new products that we develop, such as as we reach partnerships with all different, for example, electricity companies, to be able to offer those products not only through our direct network, but also to our partners, and then also try to integrate or create new added value products. Like, for example, we're just about to launch new bundles, which effectively will mean that not only Gambian users, but all of starting with Gambian users, where they could all give their customers either airtime top-ups or data top-ups. Through we will be able to offer them the possibility to be able to buy bundles, which will be through one transaction, be able to give them data and being able to give them airtime. So that's something that we're just about to launch, and not which is something up until now was not available in Gambia, whereas it was available in other countries. And hopefully we want to be able to complement to all of those other operators where those services were not available.
First of all, I am one of the early Baluwo clients since 2017. So I joined the team last year on March 2023. So as Joseph has pointed out, I've been in charge of the retail channel. So what we did, because my onboarding in the company really matched with when we launched the app. So our mission was really to go to meet the Africans where they live in the main cities in Spain and in France and Italy, and just to try to have this direct contact with them, explain them what Baluwo is, and make them get confident to download the app and use it. And I think during the first year, we reached something like 10,000 clients for the application of Baluwo. And since now 3 months, I'm in charge of, I continue working in acquiring new clients for the application, but really centered on direct action with agencies, meaning that people that men in France, in Italy, that we go to the street every weekend and we try to meet the Africans and try to explain them the application and the final objective for them to download it and use it. So we are not doing it with Baluwo team, but an external teams that work on this weekly basis, doing actions of 3 hours every weekend with this application. So the main learning we can get from this action we've been working is that we are really delivering a very interesting and positive product for the African, but we see we need it. Maybe there are some barriers that we are working on, meaning that the African migrant is really not very digitalized, and maybe this have a kind of implication of how trusted he is about using this kind of digital tool. So most of the time they're more confident going to a workshop and giving cash and have the direct coverage. So we are trying to find this kind of combination, not letting aside the digital mission, but also trying to take into account these people that they need a time for them just to continue using this kind of channel of direct with the call shop or the ethnic shop. So that is the main experience, and I think that people that we are meeting, they are really grateful that we go to them and offer them a service that really give them the control when it comes for them to support their families back home. Because when they send money, it's very positive, but I think they lose the control. So when it's up to you to buy the cash power, the internet, the construction material, you are having the control on the money you are sending to your family. And for that, I think Baluwo is a very important proposition of value when it comes to help these migrants.
Yeah.
Abdul relevant is that all your team members are Africans. How relevant is speaking the same language as your customers? Because acquiring customers on the street.
I think it's crucial. It's crucial because I think the fact that an African is talking to you, explaining you a product in your language, and you can identify yourself as a client with this person because he's a migrant, maybe explaining you come from the same locality in Senegal or in the Gambia, you have gone through the same trajectory as migrant because you have been working, I don't know, in the agricultural camp. This kind of thing make that the people get more confident and you connect with them directly. And I think it is very important and it is very related, for example, to the customer care we have, that you speak to the client in his language. And this kind of thing is important for African people to get more confident with the people they're talking to. Yeah.
Great. So we have a team who is in charge of setting up all the operations, so the connections with the local carriers, the local utilities, setting up the infrastructure. We have a team who is able to set up a network of stores where that are used by our customers. But I think how relevant Solange is having a contact center and the contact center base in Africa. How do you see it?
At the beginning, it was not easy, because when we receive a call from Africa, we are afraid. We think maybe someone is contacting us to ask us something, but our first philosophy when we started this customer care at Baluwo, it was to build like a very confident and family relationship with the buyers, with the customers. And so, for example, I was happy the first day that one customer was contacted by any of my team members, and when the team member said, I have this problem, we have this problem with this buyer, we are allowed to contact him, please, to see if we can help. And when I contacted and the customer went in my back to ask Wally or Sergio or Ndei, who is this person? I was very happy at that time, because I understood that really the customer feel confident with this customer care agent in Africa. So this is the most important. Because, for example, when they contact us, now that we have one telephone number for all the customers, and when they contact me and I say, please, you can send any problem you have to this number. Don't worry, you can send a written message or a voice message in Wolof, in Mandinka, in Sarahole, or in Bambara, and you will have someone that will understand you. They feel really comfortable with it, and they feel very happy, and they feel very linked with the company. It is very important. It's very important.
How relevant is the emotional relationship with the customer?
It is more than relevant, because, for example, we are all from abroad. And you know, me, that I have been here for a long time, sometimes the fact that our family is not near, the people that, our friends, the people that live with us every day or they see us every day, and they have their family's problem beside, they never, I experienced that, they never imagine that from the distance, you live the same problems. From the distance, your mother can be sick. From the distance, you can lose someone of your family. You cannot travel to go there, but it is the same problem that they live every day. Or if you have your children, you get worried about the studies from the distance and everything. So when you speak with someone who is your customer, because if they call you from Movistar, sorry for saying the name of the company, or from the electricity company, they won't ask you how your family is, because you don't have the same problems. But if a Baluwo member is very important, you contact someone, you say, how is your family? They're fine. Even the customers ask you, how is your family? The customers ask you. And sometimes they start telling the story. I know this store owner because I used to go there when I was a child, and that it is the emotional part for us is very important, because generally we feel alone here. Loneliness is the hardest thing for immigrants.
But at the same time, building trust is really huge. It's really important. It's tough.
Yeah.
So because at the end of the day, our business is about building trust.
Yes.
Building trust from someone who is outside from the original country. So how do you think you are building trust? You have the reputation in your back.
Yes, but building trust, how it is that you remember, Josep, when we started and that we were counting the customers, we agreed that what was important to do in Baluwo, it is to get to the customer when the problem happened, before even the customer knew there was a problem. It means that we had a problem, we contact the look, there is a problem at the Gambia with the cash power, but we are working on it. Or if a customer has a problem, you put the customer in confidence, telling him there is this problem, we are working on it, we are doing the follow-up, it does not depend on us, but anytime the problem is solved, we will let you know. And while the problem is not solved, we keep on in contact with operation or with our technician, doing the follow-up, getting worried as if it was our own order. What happens now? Now we have many customers. When a customer knows there is a problem, when he contacts you and you said, yes, there is a problem, many customers tell us, no worries, I know that when it will be solved, we will be informed. I trust you. So it is hard work and everyday work. Treat people the same way we would like to be treated. I think that's what we built from the beginning.
Basically, it's a customer and different from the usual customer of all the apps, different apps and e-commerce that you can see. But it's been like a learning experience, and there's been a lot of try and change things to make sure that we approach what the buyer is looking for. And basically that's been our experience here on the technical team. Is basically try to develop all kind of tools to make the customer happy, and say that's basically
How relevant is do something that is easy to use?
Maybe it's a little bit more difficult than what it looks for at the beginning, because you think that everybody sees things the same way you see it. So you start developing stuff and you say, oh, that's really easy now. But then usually Giuseppe or Solange a lot of times comes to us and it's like, no, you need to change that, no? And for us it's like, well, why we need to change that, no? And it's because we don't have this approach to the customers like maybe Solange or Giuseppe on Histories has with the customers, no? So as I say, for us, it's not only about doing things, but about first learning what we need to do and how we need to do it.
Wonderful. And everything works perfectly together like an orchestra, but we have the economical part and the financial part. That's why we have very good relationship with customers, with technology, but we have to be financially efficient. So that's why we have a responsible for finance, who is Inazi.
Yes.
Inazi, tell us about the complexity and how relevant it is, being efficient.
Of course, one of the main goals of our team is to make the money flow to our employees and to our suppliers in Africa, and for that we work very closely with the operation team, and we work to make this flow to the stores also, with which we collaborate in Africa, to make this flow as efficient and quick and cheap as possible. Okay, so we work with them. We make several payments to several providers in Africa every week, and Joachim here at my side can explain it very well, because he's the responsible for the purchasing of the company, and we work very close with him and the rest of the operation teams to make possible that we are able to supply all the goods and services that our buyers here in Europe buy for the family in Africa, and to supply them as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And this is very relevant because, of course, it's not only the possibility to buy and send money, to buy services and goods and send money to Africa, to your relatives in Africa, but it's also the need that these services and goods are the cheapest possible. It is very important. It is very important to be very efficient, and in that sense, Baluwo has make a step further, and in some ways it is a breakthrough of the industry, because the technology Baluwo has applied has allowed us to be in some relevant business, to be more efficient than the competition.
Last but not least, I wanted to highlight that we are an organization not only based here in Barcelona and also around Spain, with people in Madrid, in Bilbao, in Cantabria, in Tarragona, in Girona, but also we have employees in Africa. Actually, I would say 50% of our team is there. And today we are happy that we have Wally with us. So Wally, how do you see the organization? How do you see the service you're bringing from there?
Yeah, well, like it's a pleasure to meet our colleagues from the other side. This helps us to understand like how it is done the other side, because we are always in virtual, like communicating with buyers and stuff, but we don't know exactly all the work done behind. So it's a pleasure to meet you all. As our director said, as customer care representative, our main role is to be the face of the company to the buyers, but also be the voice of our buyers to the company. So we, when it's come to customer acquisition, after customer acquisition, our main role is to educate them for the use of the app, then try to retain them, develop them, and also try to always get their feedbacks, get their claims, report them. So we are the voice of our buyers. So yes, it's a pleasure to be there, to know all the work done behind when we get claims of our buyers, who are working behind to give us solution to go communicate back to our buyers. So it's a nice experience. It's a nice experience.
But you know, you live in Senegal, in Dakar,
yes,
actually. So how are your perception of European people, living far away, and maybe another mindset? How do you live being part of an European-based company?
Yeah, that's what my first impression when I came here. I told my friend Abdoulaye, from what I can see, this country is very well organized. Differently from what we
very organized, yes.
Yeah, very well organized. Differently from what we have in Africa, we have what we call in French laisser-aller. So I think we could import that. This kind of behavior would be good for us.
So it means that
actually.
And I think maybe just to add on that sense, not only, originally the focus of Baluwo was obviously helping the diaspora, giving them control to be able to help their families, but also we've always tried to focus on also helping local businesses in Africa.
Yeah.
So through, for example, all the different network of stores that we're operating there, at first maybe they didn't really understand our product, they didn't really trust Baluwo, but we've actually enabled them to be able to sell, I don't know if they're selling bags of rice or whatever, worldwide. So all of a sudden their market is no longer their neighborhood, it's the entire world. So we have now sell their bags of rice or rams, for that matter, when the ram season comes, from the US to Australia to Argentina, and that is something that we're very proud of doing, and being able to have developed that relation with specific independently run stores is how we want to contribute and also to develop to the growth of Africa as well. So that's something that we're very proud of, and that's something that we've really focused, and it also has its operational complexities, but that's a key part of our business.
Maybe what I wanted to add is that there is another part of the team that is not here, but I think they're also all Africans, meaning that the sales team, they're always in the field, 4 Gambians, 4 Senegalese and 1 Nigerian that you met, Ibrahima and Musa yesterday, and they're doing a very important job in the implementation of all the strategy for Baluwo. And I think it is also important to emphasize this, as we are talking, that all our customer care is in Africa, but here also we have an important part of the team that are from Africa. And I think that from the very beginning they've been very crucial in setting up and consolidating the project.
It was my first time working on total remote. What we used to do is going to offices, the boss is here, but so with Baluwo, the first important thing was getting responsibilities, because you work from home, you don't have like any camera or someone behind you, but you know that you but yes, the feedback you're getting from customers, they feel they say that the company is so concerned to them. Even some customers come to think that it is a Senegalese company or it is a Gambian company, because the company is here to help them. So if you have such feedback, it gives you the aim to be there for them from the morning to the night. Whenever a customer get back to you, you put yourself into his place, and we were happy to help him. So this was very important, differently from my previous experiences. This was very important and very relevant. So it helped me be more responsible of what I'm doing, be more into what I'm doing. Because apart from work, it have a social impact. So it was very important to me. Yes, actually.
The fact that we are based on our team and our people, and having a proximity of having such a big African portion of a team is really clear, really important for the customers. But also the relations we build in terms of the operational team in the country, and that confidence that we have managed to build with our partners, like the store owners, is key. And now, the people that we're operating, if it's the RAM dealers, if it's the store owners, that is key in the sense that we are now we're working with, obviously we've got store owners that now approach us, please, I want to work with you. And then also it's we're operating and we're delivering different products, and it's not that we don't pay at day one, we pay them immediately, but they actually develop the trust that, you know what, I'm not gonna go to get my cash, I'll wait for 5 days and then go and collect it all. That's because, again, there's that trust that has been built between the operations team and that network of store owners. So that's, at the end of the day, it's a business of building trust. And it's about, that we aim to leverage to be able to help develop local communities and to help the customers, and both the customers and the diaspora are buyers. So it's very important that you're sort of mentioning that.
Is there anything that we are helping to you? We are providing to you? Is there anything that you see in our partnership that is positive for you, other than the revenue you get from us?
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here. I think, working with this team for almost 5 years. I remember the first day Matar called me and said, "Oh, I want to introduce you to some business people, a friend of mine who are looking into advertisement." I said, "Oh, okay." We were young also, because Fatou started in 2017, just 1.5 years into business. And, Joseph, Lamine, and Fatima came to my office and we had a conversation. At the beginning, it was just, okay, let's do a 3-month trial. And, when we started, I remember we interviewed Joseph and we had a conversation. For me, at that point, it was just another ordinary company that we worked with. And when we did the first 3 months, that elapsed, and I called Joseph to say, "Oh, our contract is over." And I said, "Oh, I want to propose." I gave him a certain amount. He said, "Fatou, I'm going to offer you." He tripled, actually, what I gave him. And he said, "I want exclusive." I'm like, is he serious? Really? Is this guy serious? At that point, I knew he meant business. But he also was letting me know that I should do my part of the business. And I took that very seriously. I treated Baluwo more than any of my customers. Some customers will say, "We want you to treat us the way you treat Baluwo." It's not because just the money, it's because of the confidence that this brand has placed on me. And I think that is why I take my relationship with Baluwo very serious. Sometimes when I remember one time we parted ways, and I said, Joseph said, "We'll get back to you." And I was very nervous. And I said, you don't want to lose a partner like that. A brand, if you start loving something, you cannot stop loving them. So you want to make sure. So I called, he has an open door policy. He said, "Fatou, you can always come back to me." And I called and said, "Joseph, what's going on? Sally told me we were putting a hold on our partnership." He said, "Don't worry, we'll get back to you. We're just figuring certain things out." And when he came back, I had proposed us to work with the football because, Lamin had told me, because I also did my research. Lamin had told me how, he personally is into football, how he supports football, and how he's interested. I said, this is something that maybe we could explore. And knowing that there are a lot of Gambians who are also very, very excited about football, and having a lot of people in the diaspora who follow Gambian football will be one area we can explore. And we proposed that. And, and thank God today, Baluwo is the main sponsor of our first league. And that is something that I want to say has really placed this brand very central in Gambia. Because there's one thing that unites our country is football. When we support football, we are very divided when it comes to politics and other stuff. But when it comes to football, every person speaks one language, and that is Gambia. And that is the brand, that is why it's very important to have Baluwo there. And that was very important. And I think the other thing also is the customer service. I've always told Solange, I said, I think the customer service is my favorite part, because friends of mine will reach out to say, "You know what, your people," even when I get into the website just to look, they'll text me and say, "Hey, Fatou, we saw you on our website. Do you have any issues? Do you need help?" They will always reach out. And people, we don't experience that. If you know African business, if you know African culture, customer service is not very strong. Now, people appreciate when you have that one-to-one touch with them. And that's the most different experience that Baluwo gives. And as a platform that promotes this network, we get a lot of feedbacks when it comes to customer service. Instead of waiting for the customer to complain, Baluwo is always ahead. My family uses the app, they experience that, my friends, so they always tell you that. When they buy cash power or something and they haven't got their PIN, before they even complain, the team will reach out to them to say, "Hey, we know this is happening, we are reaching out to you." So this is something, most of the time, I remember calling people and say, "Why is PayPal not working?" I brought it to you also. Because people that have been using it will say, "You know what, PayPal is not working, we don't want to use our debit cards, can you check with your team?" So the customer service is also very strong. But I think the one thing, just before coming here, somebody actually, when I posted our picture, somebody said, Baluwo be balundi kane. Because in Gambia, in Mandinka, Baluwo means to feed somebody. Baluwo, feeding, right? So, people like relate to the name. Like they relate so much to the name. The fact that it's one of theirs, they know the meaning and they trust the meaning. And I think that is why it's important as a brand how you name yourself and who you associate with. But I think the most important part is the economic development that Baluwo brings to Gambia. I don't know, Ignacio talked about it, having stores across the country from Banjul to Fatoto. Most of these store owners, they don't have any platform. They cannot advertise on Kerfatu. They cannot sell their products anywhere. But if you are able to buy only 10 bags of rice a month from them, you don't know how much you're elevating economic poverty in that region. And the economic development it is bringing to Gambia, that is what we cannot count, because this is money that we cannot even account, we cannot calculate, because how many shops, over 1,000 shops across the country. I remember sometimes when we were doing adverts with these shopkeepers, because if you're selling a bag of rice, you're selling oil, you are selling sugar in tin, somebody buys $5, this person buys $6. Sometimes the money goes away, you don't even know how you keep it. But you know that with Baluwo, after every week, you get a bulk of payment that comes in. That is the kind of money that they cannot put together in their daily sales. So that really helps, and the money stays in the country, it develops the economy, and it enhances our local people. And I think for me, that is what is very touching. 5-6 years is not small number of years. For them to trust this brand this much means there's something there. The finance team make sure they pay them on time. There's no issues, because we all know how businesses like this. You don't pay them directly. You take the product from them and pay them 1 week later. But for them to trust somebody out there all the way in Spain whilst they're in Gambia, that means there's something that you're doing right. And I think that is the most important thing, to have over 1,000 stores work with this brand and elevating, their social status in society. I think, my favorite time is during the Ram sales, Tomaski, because how, when sometimes when I post videos, I just deliberately sometimes do this. I go to the shop, the Abuko Nature Reserve, and just look at this Baluwo rams and video them and put it out. When I tell people this is a 7,000 ram, 5,000, they're like, no, you're joking. That's not true, because it's affordable. Baluwo is not just selling to make profit, but also helping it make affordable. And I think that is why whenever, sometimes Lamin will tell me, Fatou, I think we should post on that advertisement because our rams are finished, and when there are rams all over Gambia, but Baluwo rams sells very fast. It's not because, we are better than any other person, it's because we're offering, cheaper than everyone in the market. And I think that is very important. We're not just here to make the money. Yes, business wants to make money, but also wants to make sure we give proper service and also affordable to the communities. I think the key word, Joseph has always said, is linking families. Somebody said to me, I've been building my house for years, and it was really difficult to do that, to complete my house, because whenever I send money home, somebody has misused that money. But when I started dealing with Baluwo, it makes life easier. I was able to just buy the cement, it's delivered. Just buy whatever material I want, it's delivered. And that makes life so easy for African people. I have been a migrant myself. It's difficult to put money together, because at the end of the month, as a typical African migrant, you send minimum 3 to 4 times in a month back home, because you have families to take care of. So it's difficult to do that and also be able to develop your own life back home, like build your home and do all of that. But with this kind of setup, you know how to organize yourself, because you don't want to send that money and it's used in another thing. You want to make sure you can buy cash power directly from here. You want to make sure you buy rice, oil, and everything. Because when you buy rice, they will eat the rice. But when you send the money, they might not buy a full bag of rice.
Yes.
So that's different. So that is why people really appreciate this platform. And I think it is changing lives. And for us at Kirfat, it's always easy to promote Baluwo because we can always, people can always come back to us and say, oh, you know what, to be honest, what you're telling us, we have seen it. For example, we have never ever, because we advertise for a lot of companies, but we have never ever had anybody say, even, people will comment on the page when you put something there. People are very liberal. They will say, but we have never ever had anybody say, oh no, they have taken our money and not give us our product. Never happened. We have never had people complaining about not delivering to them. And, like I said, the customer service is top notch. So that is important for us as brand ambassadors, people that represent the brand. When we advertise, we want to be open. I want to be able to say this openly because everybody knows me in Gambia. And I can walk, wear a Baluwo hat, wear a Baluwo t-shirt, and I'm not afraid to walk because nobody's going to strangle me. You cannot do that for all brands. And that is something that is very dear to me. So appreciate this relationship, and I have said it, this is family. 5 years is not 5 days, and we will continue to do our part. And this all makes it easy because we have a very strong team that we work with. Whenever we call, we text, everyone is available to give us information.